Last but not least.
No, least.
Very much least. Very much least. We do apologise, Andy Davis, our good friend at the Across the Pod podcast. And I had a wonderful time on your podcast talking about my Pittsburgh Steelers the other day, and I apologise for what we're about to do. This is not going to be that fun. They brought in basically a new team in the offseason. I have not had to do this once, but I had to snip it twice, the players that they brought in, because there was that many, and I couldn't fit it all on. I'm not going to name them all, but the highlights of this, well, actually, and upon snipping all of it, I realized no one really cares about most of them. But they brought in James Daniels, Zach Wilson, Ifeatu Melifonwu, Ashton Davis, Liam Eichenberg. They brought back in. They brought in Alexander Mattison for them musical fans out there. Willie Gay, Dwayne Eskridge, they re-signed. Brought in Jermaine Ifedi. I mean, Mike Hilton. I mean, these guys might not all be on the roster by the season comes, but they did lose Javon Holland. Massive loss for me, I think that is. They got rid of Calais Campbell, Emmanuel Ogba, Raheem Mostert, Anthony Walker. And then in the draft, they took Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle at 13 from Michigan. They've taken Jonas Sava-Inaya, defensive lineman for Arizona. Jordan Phillips, defensive lineman from Maryland. Quinn Ewers, quarterback in the 7th round from Texas as well. I'm going to let one of you start the picking apart of the Miami Dolphins and why this isn't going to go well for them this season.
I take it that'll be me then, as he's gone quiet.
Go for it.
I don't. Yeah, it's not great, is it? The people that they've brought in a lot of experience, especially in the defense. They've brought in a lot of experience, but they kind of feel like they all would have been good about 5 years ago. That's the concern for that. I like Kenneth Grant. I think that he'll do well for them on the defense, but a lot of their other picks I'm not that fussed about. Offensively, it's just throw it up to Tyreek or Jalen Waddle, isn't it? Is basically what it is. And they've even sort of doubled down on that logic because they brought in Nick Westbrook-Akine as well, who's kind of was doing that for Tennessee last year. It feels like that's very much what it is. It feels like using Devon Achane a lot in the hope that he doesn't get injured, despite the fact that he's a bit of a smaller back. And then obviously you've got the same old story with the Dolphins, which is basically if Tua gets a concussion, then that's it. So Zach Wilson isn't going to do anything for them. Quinn Ewers is awful. So, yeah, there's not a lot of positives here. It is going to be very much just lump it up to Tyreek or Jalen Waddle and hope that they can do the magic, which I think all the time that Tua is fit, there's probably a good chance that they will be able to get a decent amount of points on the board, but the defense doesn't look great. And I think it's going to be a struggle for them.
I cannot believe I lived in a world where I didn't know who Storm Duck was.
Ah, you found Storm Duck.
Who is it? Who is this person? I need to know. I'm going to find out everything about him after this podcast. But looking at their roster, cornerback. I know. Thanks, Captain Obvious.
From Louisville. Do you want to know? Do you want me to tell you he's from Louisville?
From Louisville. He wasn't drafted this year, though.
No, I think he was drafted the year.
Yeah, it says undrafted free agent 2024.
Yeah, he was in the draft, I was going to say, but he was an undrafted free agent.
Well, now, according to ourlads.com, which is a very, very fantastic roster website, which you should definitely check out if you are looking at that, he is now one of their starting cornerbacks in a backfield that is all new players. Like, everyone's a new player. Melifonwu, Fitzpatrick, Sheffield, and Hilton are all looking like they're going to be starters according to this. And then the backups are Ashton Davis, Jack Jones, Cornell Armstrong. Like, and Jason Marshall, who they drafted. Like this is a completely new secondary. Is it just
they are some decent players though?
there's some good
Like
players,
in theory.
In theory, that's the thing. Is theory.
Yeah, they're old vets, aren't they? All of them. That's the problem.
Scott, unfortunately they seem to have the thing. They just can't stay fit, can they? None of them.
No.
That's why no one can be excited about it because no one can keep fit.
To quote The Dark Knight Rises, remember Catwoman goes, "There's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne." Right? And it ain't a good storm because this team is crap. Right?
No, it's dark.
It is crap. Oh, well, look at us. We're a sexy team. We're in Miami. We've got nice colors. Oh, Mike McDaniel, overrated, right? Overrated. Draws up a few nice plays. Can't get it done in the playoffs. Well, they lost to the Bills and the Chiefs both times. And like you said, okay, maybe I shouldn't be too harsh. It does come down to injuries a bit. But also sometimes that's part of the NFL. You've got a 53-man roster. And they just built their team like Adam was basically alluding to. Oh, look at us with 2-star wide receivers, but your quarterback gets hurt. Then what do you do? Or they had the thing with paying Ramsey and then getting rid of him. That was also a bit like just mismanagement of the cap and planning. And yeah, look, you had an undefeated season when less than half the league even had winning records, about 40 or 50 years ago. But you haven't won a playoff game since 2000. I ain't winning a playoff game this year either, or probably for the next 5 years. So yeah, suck on that, Miami. You've got 5 primetime games. I'm going to enjoy watching you lose all 5 of them.
Is he the top hot seat candidate, Mike McDaniel? Would you say he's top of the pack?
He's up there, isn't he? Top 3.
He's got to be up there, hasn't he? Yeah.
I think he's top 1. I don't see where you look around the league where you think there's going to be someone who's not like is more on the hot seat than him, to be honest. I couldn't head.
I think if it all falls apart of the Bengals, I think Zach Taylor's up for it potentially. But yeah, I think you're probably right. It does feel like it's all coming to a bit of a head, doesn't it? There at the Dolphins, and it's just a matter of time before they move on from him.
He's exhausted his goodwill, hasn't he? In a way,
it does feel like it.
And you know what? When you're winning and being, he's probably being himself, but let's put it politely, is that he's a little kooky and out there, and that's fun. But it's only fun when you're winning. When you're not winning, it's weird. And I remember one of the games we went to watch, we were part of media out in the UK, and I went with Andrew, obviously, part of the college and the betting show. And he was tasked with going to the Dolphins press conference, and I went to the winning team's. I can't even remember. It was the Chiefs. It was the Chiefs Dolphins in Germany.
Oh, yeah, you guys went. Yeah.
Yeah, we went. And I did the Chiefs press conference and he did the Dolphins press conference. And I was a bit like, oh, you're going to be in for it. Even if they lost, you're in for a ride of like, oh, it might be. And he said it was so awkward. He was like, he was nothing like he appeared on camera in terms of like that kookiness. Yes, they just lost the game. Yes, they traveled to Germany. I understand. I don't mean jet lagged when you've been there a week, but they may have been there 2-3 days. I don't know what their scheduling was when they got over to Frankfurt, Germany. But I don't know. I just think, clickbait and being in social media, darling, only gets you so far.
He's a bit patronizing in the way that he deals with, the way he was saying, like he thinks he's a media darling, but I think he gives off this "I'm a know-it-all." Well, clearly you don't know that much because
I think he thinks he's a bit of a savant.
Yeah, but it was even that thing of, do you remember? I think it was when the week you were in Germany, there was a gentleman who's followed the Dolphins for a couple of decades in the UK, and he did the thing of like, oh my God, what a great question with your accent. Yeah, mate, we've all got accents. And if you had a few variations in your playbook, you might actually get some wins in the postseason. I don't know. I just think he's unlikable. And I think the Dolphins would do better to have a reset. I can't believe I'm saying similar to the Jets, but like, a team that has a bit of history, has a good fan base. They're going international again this year. It could be a bit of a horrible year, and they might need to just pull the plug this year and reevaluate big time.
I think they've got Darren Waller there, don't they? So it's all good.
Oh yeah.
I think they just need a big reset. They just need a big reset.
Yeah,
I don't think. I think you've got to be out on Tua. especially now with more the quarterbacks who are coming in out of college are so much more ready now than they were. And I just think it feels like, you could draft, you could, I don't know what Tua's contract situation is, admittedly, but you bring in a new quarterback, you cut ties with Tua. Yeah, your cap might be a mess for a minute, but then you can reinvest before you have to pay the quarterback again. And, Florida's no state tax. That's an attractive thing for people. Like, it's a warm weather state. Miami, like Sky alluded to, very fun. But it does attract people who have too much fun. It's a very easy city for you to enjoy, I suppose. And like, it's a thing that Colin Coward says on his program, is that football means more when there's no beach. These places that are beautiful and they have warm weather all the time. There's a beach and it's healthy living and stuff like that. Like they don't almost care about football as much because there's so much more other fun things to do. When there's 4 foot of snow on the ground in Detroit and you can't go anywhere, all you've got is football. And that's why it's a live and breathe. That's why the community's live and breathe it. And I don't feel like Miami exactly lives and breathes football. And that might be something that doesn't attract some players there. So I don't know.
Arch Manning might like it. He probably likes a beach. Arch Manning might like a beach if
he might do.
The Dolphins go. Yeah, who knows?
Man, imagine the world we live in where Arch Manning becomes a Miami Dolphin. Oh, that'd be so bad.
I think he'll be running back to Texas if the Dolphins are the number 1 pick. So,
I mean, there is that.
Yeah.
He will see who has got the pick.